If you're new to audio production and need to find a way to get sound into your computer, first of all you need audio software, which I covered on my last video, and secondly you need an audio interface. But what exactly is an audio interface and which type do you need? Well, I'm glad you asked because the answer is not so straightforward. Like most audio gear, there are many options to choose from and some technical jargon to understand. In this video, I'm going to cover what an audio interface is, how it works, what it does, and the different types. Hi, I'm Chris, and this is Chris's Sound Lab. I remember being in the exact same boat as you. When I got my first audio interface, this absolute beast right here, I was totally confused by what all the controls were, what all the inputs and outputs meant, and what they were used for. I went to my flatmate who was studying popular music at the time and I asked him, but even he was baffled by some of the names and what it all meant. So I hope that by the end of these two videos, you'll have a complete understanding of audio interfaces and you'll easily be able to make the right purchase for you. Let's begin by talking about what an audio interface is and what it does. Simply put, an audio interface is a piece of hardware that allows you to get audio into your computer, tablet, or iPad. You can't plug in an instrument cable or a microphone cable directly into your computer, so you need an in-between device to do the work for you. So its first job is to convert an analog signal, such as a singer singing into a microphone, into a digital one. Now you have complete control over the audio that you just recorded. You also need an audio interface to get audio out of your computer. That way it can be heard through headphones or studio speakers. So its second job is to convert a digital signal, such as an audio file, into an analog one. Now you can hear your audio or music coming from your audio software. An audio interface is a vital device at the center of any recording studio. If you want to record any instrument, a synthesizer, or a singer via a microphone, then you need an audio interface. You can also connect your MIDI keyboard to an audio interface, although these days most MIDI keyboards can connect directly to your computer via USB. On the front of a typical audio interface, you have your gain knobs. These turn up the volume of any audio signal. You have a phantom power button, which powers your microphones, providing 48 volts. You have a volume control for your studio speakers and headphones. And quite often you have a pad button, which stands for passive attenuation device. This reduces the volume by a set amount if a signal is too loud. On the back, you can find more inputs and outputs depending on the size of the audio interface, but I'm going to cover this in part 2. Next, I'm going to talk about form factor. That simply refers to the size and shape of the audio interface. There are two typical forms. One is a desktop and one is a rack mount. Desktop audio interfaces are smaller and they can just sit on a desk or a table somewhere. And rack mount interfaces are bigger, they have more inputs and outputs, and as the name suggests, they can be mounted on a rack unit. If you've ever been to a recording studio, you might have even seen a rack unit. Their purpose is just to store audio interfaces or extra sound processors. This could be a reverb unit or a limiter or a compressor. If you're just starting out and need something minimal, then I would recommend going for a desktop audio interface. If you have a bigger budget and you want something more versatile with more connectivity options, then consider buying a rack mount audio interface. Let's talk about connection type, because audio interfaces can be connected to your computer with different cables, all of which process data at different speeds, some being faster than others. Let's take a look at the most common types. Firstly, you have USB. Secondly, you have Thunderbolt. And finally, you have Firewire. Firewire is kind of outdated now, and you don't usually see it on modern audio interfaces. Thunderbolt is faster than USB, although if you have a decent enough computer, USB is more than fast enough for the majority of home studios. I also have a USB audio interface and it's more than capable of handling what I throw at it. With regards to compatibility, All audio interfaces should be compatible with both Mac computers and Windows computers, so that's something you shouldn't have to worry about. Finally, I want to talk about price and software bundles. More expensive audio interfaces have better preamps and better components. This means that you get better sound quality. Although audio technology has come a long way over the years, and a USB audio interface is more than capable of delivering clean, accurate, and detailed recordings. For beginners and budget and home recording studios, a moderately priced audio interface is more than enough to get you by. We're really lucky these days because audio gear and software has come a long way in its development. There are so many companies all competing with each other, and they all want to give you the best deal. So it's really common now that a lot of audio interfaces come with audio software and plugins. To help you choose the right audio interface for you, I've written an article on my website. In this article, I detail what's included in each audio interface, and I've put them from low to high price. I've even included a comprehensive table explaining what inputs and outputs are on each audio interface. I haven't actually seen any other websites do it this way, and I've tried to make it as clear as possible for you guys. If you're interested in the article, I've left a link down in the video description. If you're also interested in learning about the audio interface that I use, there's also a link down in the video description. And that about wraps this video up. I hope that now audio interfaces are a little bit clearer, because it is quite a tricky piece of hardware to understand. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the inputs and outputs of audio interfaces, because that is even more confusing. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate the support to this channel. It takes a long time to make these videos. Even trying to do all the detailed diagrams is very time consuming. I'm Chris, and this is Chris's Sound Lab. You can also get me at chrissoundlab.com. That's all for now, and I hope to see you on my next video.